Oh, yay, we're filming. Okay. Sorry, I had to like delete some podcasts, unfortunately. Um, my computer is full of memory. It doesn't have any memory left. And I usually put my podcasts on external hard drives. I have two of them. One of them is missing in action somewhere. I hope it's in a box. And the other one I dropped, and now I can hear the disc spinning in it and nothing's happening. So I have to try to take it somewhere because I need my podcast, and like all my photos are on that one too. I should have probably kept the photos on two separate ones now that I think about it. But anyways, I am here today to do my October wrap up. Yay! But first things first, I finished organizing my shelves. So you're gonna see I filmed a book haul from Wordstock that I'll probably upload some point this week. So there will be sad shelves again because I filmed that before I fixed my shelves. But I'm so excited. It's in an order that I understand. It might not really make sense to most people, but the goal is to have one shelf per like continent, kind of. So I've got like Europe and then Russia, Asia, South America and the Caribbean, Africa, and then like other English speaking countries, and then England up at the very top. But I don't have that many books from these places, so I had to like put US. It's kind of complicated. It's cool, but they're separated by country. I have my series up there, and then they're separated by country after that, and then within country they're chronological by birthday of the author. And then if two authors have the same birthday, it's alphabetical, and then within the author, it's chronological by publication date of their works. I sound like a crazy person. Whatever, it makes me happy. Although I was thinking, sorry, I only have 3 books to talk about, so that's fine. I was thinking that it's going to be really kind of a pain in the butt to get new books, because then I'm going to have to like I don't know where. Like, this was a great idea for the books that I own, but if I acquire new books, I don't know what to do. So I'm kind of thinking that I might just put them on the shelves in purchase order after this, so that I can kind of like see what I've had on my shelves the longest. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, I've got 3 books to talk to you about. I did book talks for 2 of them, so yay. The first one I did not do a book talk for, and that is Bloodchild by Octavia Butler, and this was absolutely incredible. This edition has 7 short stories and 2 essays, and then each essay and short story has a little like afterword where she explains kind of like why she did the story. My 2 favorites by far are Bloodchild, which is the title story, and Amnesty, which is one of the added stories towards the end. That one is, they're both so good. In Bloodchild, you've got a world where these like giant bug things kind of like lay baby eggs in humans and like use the humans as like a incubator a little bit. And then in Amnesty, you have these aliens that have landed on Earth, and humans know about them, and the aliens we're doing like all these kinds of horrible experiments on the humans, so the humans don't trust the aliens, but the aliens have found like a way to kind of like, it's like a mutually beneficial touching, which sounds kind of weird, but like they embrace you. The aliens are like a group of things. It's kind of hard to explain, but you should read this. It's really, really good. I've never read Octavia Butler before, and I want to read everything that she's written. I thought this was amazing. The 2 essays I thought were absolutely fascinating too. They're about writing basically. So I think the first one is like her saying like she wants to be an author like when she's a little kid and da da da, and it's like where does it say? Thank God no one told me selling would take so long. Not that I would have believed it. I've sold 8 novels since then. Last Christmas I paid off the mortgage on my mother's house. Like, I don't know. It's like really, it's, man. So the first one's like about her specifically kind of like trying to become, like, I mean, like a Black female science fiction writer. Like, that's crazy. I'm pretty sure she's the only one that I know of still, if you know of someone else. Well, I think Nadia Korafor, I feel like I've heard of her, and I'm pretty sure that she writes sci-fi. So I should probably check her out too. And she's got a bunch of like rules for writing for publication, and the most one, like the biggest one, is persist. Like persist, you just have to keep going, keep going. So I thought this was absolutely phenomenal. Y'all should read it. I only heard 3 things, but all of them were fantastic. The first thing that I finished in the month was Beloved by Toni Morrison. I'll link my book talk below. This book was heartbreaking. It was so sad. Oh gosh, all the feels. We're following a woman named Seth and her daughter Denver, and then this new woman that kind of enters their life named Beloved. And it's just like part of the story. It's told. Part of it is like flashbacks. It's kind of hard to describe this book for some reason. Part of it is flashbacks when Seth was a slave, and then the other part of it is like present day, and it's just after slavery's been abolished. So, you know, it's so sad, like looking at the mind of a person who thinks that their children are going to be treated a certain way, and like her trying to protect them, and oh gosh. It's so sad. It's so sad. It's so good. Her writing is flawless and gorgeous. This is definitely the type of book that you kind of like have to work a little bit to understand. Sorry, emotional. Her writing isn't like, oh, this happened, this happened, this happened. Like she works her way around what's happening and then like finally tells you kind of. So it's really, I thought it was beautifully written. Tragic story. If you want to cry. And if you just want to learn about life, you should read it. There is a horrible, horrible event that happens in this, though, so I don't want to tell you what it is because I think it would ruin the plot of the story. But if you want to know what it is, like if you're curious about reading this book but are triggered by some things, and then you want to know what the thing is that is triggering, let me know so I can tell you. You could probably internet search it, too, if you like, so, because there is a pretty horrible thing that happens. I mean, a lot of horrible things, but there's like one like really, really horrible thing that happens. The next thing that I have to talk about is The Assignment, or On the Observing of the Observer of the Observers by Frederick Dürrenmatt, and this is translated by Joel Agee, or Agee. I still have no idea how to pronounce his name, and oh my gosh, this was also fantastic. I think I gave, now that I'm thinking about it, Bloodchild a 4, Beloved a 5, and then I gave The Assignment a 4 too. This is probably more like a 4.5. This book is so good. I also did a book talk for it, so I'll link it below, but if you don't want to watch it, that's cool. I'm going to talk about it a little bit right now. This is, oh, it's so good. So first of all, plot. We've got a gentleman named Otto von Lambert whose wife has been found raped and murdered in front of like a ruin in some unnamed Arab country. So he hires this woman named F to go and investigate what happened to try to like find out, you know, what's happening. And he thinks it's like really imperative that she go because she's used to observing others. And so like, I don't know, he thinks that it's like really important that she goes for some reason. So F goes, and then things happen. The plot continues. But this book is so much more than that, which is like so strange because it's so tiny, but woof, buddy. First of all, let me see how many, 24. There are 24 sentences in this book. There are 24 chapters. Each chapter is one sentence. There are no period breaks within a chapter. So if that's the thing that bothers you, then probably don't read this book. There's obviously, it probably goes without saying that there's no quotation marks. There's no periods. There's going to be no quotation marks. There are commas. So there are commas, and it's fantastic. And I just absolutely love it because I read like a little snippet of it in my other section, but it's so good because it talks about like on the observing of the observer of the observers. That's like what it is, and I feel like the cover makes so much sense with regards to that. I don't know. I found this absolutely fantastic. There's so many like, there's just so much. I feel like this would kind of be a really good book club book pick too, because there's like a lot to talk about in it. But since I already did a book talk for it, I don't really feel like talking more about it other than I think it's absolutely fantastic. It's short, it's translated, and it's very quirky read, I guess. Oh, and with regards to the whole rape and murder situation, you know, with regards to trigger warnings, now I'm like so concerned about it's not really like, it's the catalyst of the story, but it doesn't really have, it's not like part of the thing really. Like what this book is about is observing and watching other people. And being like watching other people watch you. And yeah, it's just so good. But I feel like observe is the correct word because watching doesn't even imply what observing does. Watching is just like a totally different thing in my opinion than observing. Observing is like really, getting into it. So anyways, those are the things that I read. Sorry for talking so much. I'll link my book talks below, and hopefully I'll post my Wordstock book haul. I just have to do like a little bit of internet searching because I got books from a bunch of different indie publishers, and I want to make sure that I link them in the comments. And but I have to like clean and do stuff today. Yesterday was bookshelf day, and today is not as fun errand day. So, bye guys. Thanks for watching. Hope everyone had a great October. I was super slumpy, but I was moving, so whatever.